With our starting color, we will make a magic ring, chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and 8 single crochet into the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we'll join to that starting single crochet. To complete round 1, and you can tighten up your magic ring. For round 2, we're going to be making the little center flower using the double bullion stitch. This may be a new stitch to several of you. We're going to have a number of loops on our hook, so I've opted to use a straight hook for this square. Some of them, my usual hook that I use, the shaft doesn't always have enough room for the loops that we need to hold. So that's why I've gone to a straight hook for this one. So if you haven't worked it before, it may be a little bit tricky at first, but they're really not that hard. We'll just do it nice and slow and step by step. So round 2, we will start making the double bullion stitches to form our flower. So to do that, we are going to chain 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I'm going to turn my work, and we're actually working around this chain that we just made. So we're going to put our hook under the chain to grab the yarn and pull it through. So we now have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, and pull through just the 1 loop, leaving 2 loops on the hook. And we'll repeat that 5 more times. So draw a loop up, yarn over, pull through that loop. So 3 loops on our hook. Pull the loop up, pull through 1, 4 loops, 5 loops, 6 loops, and one last time, 7 loops on the hook. And then we want to slip stitch in the base of our chain, making sure that we have the right side facing. So you pull that loop through. So there should be a total of 8 loops now on your hook. And this is where it gets slightly tricky. We're going to yarn over, and we want to pull that through all of the 8 loops, making sure that we don't bunch this. So we need to pull it long enough, but not too long that we have a loose loop on our hook. Okay, so I've worked my first one in fairly loose tension. You don't want it to be too loose, and it'll look sort of holy then, but if you're too tight, it'll be difficult to wiggle your hook through all of those loops. So we're going to leave this loop on our hook for a while, insert into the top of the next single crochet on our round 1, pull up a loop, and then we will chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ready to begin the second bullion, double bullion petal. So under the chain, pull up a loop, pull through 1, and now because we have the loop from that first bullion, we actually have 3 loops on our hook. 5 more times, 4 loops on hook, 5 loops, 6 loops, 7 loops, and we want 1 more time. So there's 8 loops on our hook. Then remember, in the base of that chain 5, we will slip stitch, and that gives us 9 loops. So the starting double bullion had 8 loops at this point. All the rest of these should have 9 loops on our hook. Yarn over and carefully pull that through so those stitches don't bunch up and curve. So that's 2 double bullion stitches or double bullion petals. So we're going to continue that around. So at the end of this round, we should have a total of 8 of these double bullion petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And remember to leave that loop from the previous double bullion stitch on the hook, and then begin working around this chain we just completed, pulling up a loop and yarn over, pull through 1. So it's sort of like making a chain stitch around that chain 5. So we do that a total of 6 times, adding 1 more loop on our hook each time until we have 8. I think I need 1 more. 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Then we slip stitch in the base of the chain 5 to give us 9 loops on our hook, yarn over, and pull through all 9 loops, and continuing in that around. So if this is your first time working a double bullion stitch, don't be surprised if you need to practice it a few times before you can get the even tension, but they are kind of fun once you know how to do them. So you can continue to finish up the 8 double bullion stitches, and I'll meet you back just before we join. So how did you do? We should have 8 double bullion stitches worked around our round 1 single crochet. So to join, we want to join to the loop that is between the first and the second petal with a slip stitch like that. Okay, it will look slightly funny at this point, raised up, but you can see how they now curve nicely around a little bit of a spiral for our flower. And as we work the next few rounds, that will straighten out a little bit better for us. Round 2 complete. Round 3, we are going to be working into these loops. So that top loop that we kept at the top of the bullion that are now behind our work, we're going to be working into those loops. So right where we finished off, we will chain 6, which counts as a double crochet, and a chain 3. So chain 6, which is a double crochet, chain 3, and then we will make a double crochet into that same space or loop. Then we'll make 2 double crochet in the next loop between the next 2 double bullion stitches, 1 and 2. And then in the next loop, we'll make a double crochet, chain 3, and another double crochet in that same space. Okay, so we'll continue that around. 2 double crochet in the next loop, 1 and 2, and double crochet, chain 3, double crochet all in the next loop, 2 double crochet in the next, and then working into the next loop, the double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. And almost finished. So in our last loop here, we should have 2 more double crochet. So you should have 4 corners or 4 of those chain 3 spaces. And then there's 4 double crochet in between the chain 3 spaces. Then we will join to the 3rd chain of our starting chain 6 to complete round 3. It's be easier to see from the back at this point. Round 4, we're going to make a front post slip stitch around the first double crochet, which is actually this chain 3 that we just slip stitched into. So a front post slip stitch and then chain 2, and that acts as our first front post double crochet. And then into this chain 3 space, we will make 2 half double crochet, 1, 2, chain 2, and 2 more half double crochet, 1 and 2. Front post double around the next 4 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that was 4 front post double crochet, 1 around each of the next doubles, and then ready for our next corner of that 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet. Okay, so you can continue that around with the front post double crochet around the doubles, and then the corners with the 2 halves, chain 2, 2 halves. So on my last repeat here, we only need to make 3 of the front post double crochet on this side, since we started with that front post slip stitch chain 2, which acts as that 4th front post double crochet. So that is round 4, and you can see how the center flower is starting to flatten down a little bit more for us. Round 5, we're going to make a chain 4 from where we fastened off, or we joined last round. You notice I changed color. I just did that with drawing through that last slip stitch with my new color. Then we're going to make a back post treble around the next 2 stitches. So in from the back, around the post to the back again, pull that yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 times, and 3 times to make a back post treble. We'll do that once more around the next stitch. So the chain 4 and 2 back post treble to start this round. So we're going to be working double trebles, so yarn over 3 times, and behind this chain 3 space we want to work behind the chain 3 space of round 4, we want to work into round 3 between those 2 double crochet that we have in that loop from the double bullions. So working from behind, we come in down in between these 2 double crochet into that loop, or that space between, pull up a loop, yarn over, and we'll pull through 2 4 times to make the double treble stitch. You can see it from the front between those 2 stitches. And we'll chain 3 and make another double treble in the same spot. So yarn over 3 times again, and down into that loop between the 2 double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 4 times for our second double treble. Then we'll just make a back post treble around each of the next 8 stitches. So the 2 half double crochet from last round, we will make a back post treble, and then around each of those front post doubles we'll also make a back post treble. So we should have a total of 6 back post trebles so far, and then we'll do two more around each of these half double crochet. So 1 on the first one and 1 on that second half double crochet, which should give us 8 back post treble, and then ready to work those 2 double treble with the chain 3 in between down into that space between the bullions. 1, 2, 3, and 1 more double treble. So you want to try and keep, when you yarn over, to keep that fairly consistent tension so it's not too loose there or it gets too baggy. Pull that loop all the way through for a nice long tall stitch. Okay, so we'll complete that around the next side as well. So the 8 back post trebles with those double treble, chain 3 double treble in the corner. So on this final side, we only need to make the first 5 of those back post treble, since we had the starting one and the 2 back post trebles there. So we can go ahead and join to the top of our starting chain to finish off. Round 6, we're going to chain 3 to start, back post double around each of the next 2 stitches. Oops. 1 and 2 and the last one. So back post double around the next 3 stitches, chain 1, we want to make 2 half double crochet into the chain, so not into the chain space. Skip the first chain into the second chain of our corner chain 3. We will place 2 half double crochet. So 1 and 2, chain 1, and then we'll make a back post double crochet around each of the next 10 stitches. 1, 2, 9 and 10 back post double, chain 1, and then half double crochet into the second chain of the corner, not into the chain space. 1 and 2 half double crochet, chain 1, and ready to work the 10 back post double around the side. So I'll let you work your way around, and I'll meet you back here just before we join. So working the final side of round 6, again we'll omit the last 4 back post double, as that's how we started the round. So we just have 6 back post double on this part of this last side. Join with a slip stitch to the start of the round to end round 6. So each side will have a total of 10 back post double crochet plus the 2 half double crochet and a chain 1 on either side of that 2 half double crochet in our corners. Round 7. If you're continuing with the same color, you will chain 1 and single crochet in that same stitch. I've changed colors and I'm starting with a standing single crochet. And then we will single crochet in the next 3 stitches as well. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. We're going to skip the chain space and we'll make 5 double crochet around this first half double crochet that's in the corner. One, 2, so we're just inserting our hook around that half double crochet in the corner. 3, 4, and 5. then we want to come down and slip stitch over the chain spaces of rounds 3 and 4. Like that. And then we'll come back up and make 5 double crochet around the second half double crochet of the corner. And this is called the crocodile stitch. So back up to that second half double crochet of round 6 and 5 double crochet around that half double crochet. This is my third double crochet, 4 and 5. Okay, then we're going to work behind this chain 4 space, or the chain 3 space of round 4, and into the round 3 space between the second and the third half double crochet that are in that space. So insert your hook behind that chain 3 space from round 4, or fold it forward with your thumb, and then slip stitch between the half double crochet that are there. And then we can come back up to the second half double crochet in the corner of round 6 and make 5 more double crochet around that second corner half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochet. And we'll chain 1, skipping the chain space behind. So that completes what is called the crocodile stitch. So after we have chained 1 and skipped that space behind the crocodile stitch, we will just make a single crochet in each of the next 10 stitches. So along the 10 stitches of a side, we will just place a single crochet. I've done 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Chain 1, and then we'll work another crocodile stitch. So working under that first half double crochet of the corner, we will make 5 double crochet around the post of that stitch. It's 1, oops, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, working behind the round 4 chain space into the corner of round 3. We'll come down between those half double crochet and slip stitch. And back up on round 6, working 5 more double crochet around that second corner half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1. Remember to skip the chain space, and we'll just start our 10 single crochet down the side. So you can go around and finish the sides, and I'll meet you back just at the join. When we're working the final side, we will only need to do 6 of the 10 single crochet, and then we'll have met up with our beginning 4. So you can go ahead and join to that starting single crochet. Each side should have 10 single crochet with these crocodile stitches in the corner. If you're continuing with the same color, You're going to slip stitch along each of the stitches until you get to that first double crochet of the crocodile stitch. So I'm going to start in that stitch. So my first double crochet of the crocodile stitch and the chain 1 space of round 6. So we'll insert our hook in that first double crochet and under the chain 1 space. And we'll slip stitch in there. Chain 4, which counts as a treble crochet, and then chain 3 as well. And we will make 5 treble into the middle of the crocodile stitch. So that will be in that chain space that's in between the 2 parts of the crocodile stitch. So 5 treble in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 trebles in that space in the middle of the crocodile stitch. Yarn over twice for a treble, insert your hook in the top of that last double of the crocodile stitch and back into that chain space of round 6 for a treble crochet. We're going to skip 3 stitches, so that's 1, 2, 3 single crochet. We'll treble in the next stitch. We chain 1. Then we're going to work in front of the treble we just made, skipping the single crochet just before that and working into the next one. So that will be the second or the middle single crochet that we skipped is where we will place our next treble, working in front of the first treble. Then from the treble we just made, we're going to skip 3, which is this one that's skipped there where the first treble was and the next one. So that's skipping 3, or you can think of just skipping the one past this furthest treble. So on the side, we want to skip one more before we work the next treble. Chain 1, and then working the treble back behind, we're going to work in the same stitch that we placed that first treble. And I use my hook to pull that stitch to the front to make it easier to place a treble in it. Okay, so again, back on round 7, we'll skip the next single crochet, work into the next, chain 1, and working back in front into the stitch that already has a treble in it. And we'll do that one more time. Skip the next single, work in the next, chain 1, working back in front, working into the stitch that already has a treble to complete the 4th cross stitch. And then we want to make the treble crochet in. There's my first double crochet, so I'm going to insert in the top of the double crochet and that chain 1 space that's in front of the first half double crochet from round 6 in that corner, chain 3, then we'll place the 5 trebles into the corner chain space between the 2 halves of the crocodile stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, chain 3, and then working that treble in the top of our last double crochet of the crocodile stitch and that chain 1 space of round 6. And then we're ready to begin our cross stitches down the side. So skipping 3 single crochet, treble in the next, chain 1, working back and front, work a treble into that middle skipped or the second skipped single crochet to complete the cross treble. Okay, so continue to work your way around and I'll meet you as we get to the end of this round. So on your final side, once you've worked your 4th cross stitch, we're able to join to that 4th chain of our starting chain 4, or that acts as the starting treble. So slip stitch there to end round 8. So we should have a total of 2 treble stitches on each side, 4 of the cross stitches, and then there's chain 3 space, 5 treble, and chain 3 space for the corners. Round 9, we'll slip stitch into that chain 3 space just past where we joined, or after that first treble, and you will chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch, and then we'll make 2 single crochet into that chain 3 space. Or if you're starting a new color like I am, you'll just start with a standing single crochet and make 2 single crochet into the chain 3 space. We'll single crochet in each of the 5 treble in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 2 single crochet into that chain 3 space. We'll skip this next treble and single crochet into the space between the treble and the cross stitch, so not in the stitch but into the space. Chain 1, single crochet in between the 2 stitches of the cross stitch, so in that chain 1 space, chain 1, and we'll skip the treble, and into the space between the cross stitches we'll make another single crochet. So do that again, chain 1, single crochet in the chain 1 space of the cross stitch, chain 1, single crochet in the space between the cross stitches, chain 1, single crochet in the space between the cross stitches, chain 1, single crochet in between the 2 cross stitches, chain 1, single crochet in that chain 1 space, and then we chain 1 and single crochet in that space between the last cross stitch and the treble. And then we're at those chain 3 space, so 2 single crochet in there, and then ready to single crochet in each of the 5. So you can work your way around, and I'll meet you back at the join. So when you've worked your way around, you can join with a slip stitch to that starting single crochet. Each side should have a total of 9 single crochet and the 8 chain 1 spaces, plus around the corner there will be 9 single crochet. Round 10, we'll continue where we left off with the chain 3 to start, which counts as a double crochet, and we'll double crochet in that next stitch as well. Chain 4, 4 chain, skip 2 stitches, and then we'll popcorn into the next. So skip 2 and then start our popcorn in that next stitch. So each popcorn is made with 5 double crochet in that same stitch. Got 4 and 5. And you take your hook out of the loop, insert in the top of the first double crochet, grab the loop, pull it through, chain 1 to close. And that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. We'll chain 4 again, 2, 3, and 4, skip the next 2 stitches, and then double crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, then we're going to skip the chain 1 spaces and double crochet in the next stitch 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and double crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and then ready to start our corner again of chain 4, skip 2 stitches, and popcorn into the next. So where you place your popcorn should be the middle single crochet that's on that third or the middle treble of that group of 5. 3 doubles, 4 and 5 double crochet for our popcorn. Come back to the first double crochet, pick up the loop again, chain 1 to close, which does not count, and then chain 4, skip 2 stitches, double crochet in the next 3. Then you can continue to work that all the way around, and I'll meet you back here to join to our starting stitch. So once you've worked your way around, we can go ahead and join after our 8 double crochet down the side. We'll go ahead and join to that starting stitch to finish round 10. So you should have 13 double crochet each side with a chain 4 space, popcorn chain 4 space for the corners. Round 11, we'll chain 4, which is going to count as a back post treble, and then we'll back post treble around that last double crochet before the chain 3 space. We'll 3 treble crochet into the chain 4 space. So 1, 2, and 3 treble crochet. Then in the popcorn we'll make a treble crochet, chain 3 treble crochet. So you can see how our popcorn has formed a bit of a circle there. I like to go in the middle, or what's called the eye of the popcorn, and out under that joining chain when we work into the popcorn. So treble crochet, chain 3, and another treble crochet in the popcorn. And then we'll make 3 treble in the next chain 4 space. 1, 2, and 3 treble crochet. And then working down the side, we'll just make back post treble down the next 13 stitches. So you can go ahead and continue to work that all the way around the square with our 13 back post treble on each side, 3 treble in each of the chain 4 spaces, and treble chain 3 treble in the corner popcorn. So on our final side, you will only work 11 of those back post treble, and then we can join to the top of our starting chain 4 to finish off this round. Round 12, if you are keeping with the same color, you will chain 4 from where we left off. If not, you can start with a back post treble. And that would be the second last back post treble that we work around. And then we're going to place a back post treble around each of the next 5 stitches. 1, oops, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5, which will make a total of 6 back post treble to start this round. Then into the corner space, we're going to make a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. And then we'll make back post treble around each of the next 21 stitches. So just down all the stitches of the side, we'll work a back post treble, and then the corners are the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, or sorry, chain 3, double crochet. So you continue to work your way around, and I'll meet you back here at the end of this round. On the final side, you will work 15 back post treble before meeting up where we started. You can join with a slip stitch to fasten off or to end the round. So there should be a total of 21 back post treble per side with a double crochet, chain 3 double crochet in each corner. Round 13, if you're continuing with the same color, you slip stitch into the next stitch. If you're joining a new color, you want to join to that 5th last back post treble. And slip stitch into the stitch, chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. Or you can start with a standing double if you'd like. And we'll 2 double crochet in that same stitch, chain 3, and then make a picot. So you can slip stitch into the 3rd chain. I like to go into the front of the top of the stitch and that first loop on the side for my picot, but you may slip stitch into the 3rd chain. And I'll make 3 more double crochet in that same stitch. So we'll skip 2 stitches, single crochet in the next stitch, we'll skip the last 2 stitches, and then we'll make a picot 5 fan in the corner, chain 3 space. So we'll skip the 2 stitches, we'll start with 5 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we will chain 3 again to make a picot, and then insert the hook in that front top loop and the side loop. Pull the yarn through all loops on the hook for the picot, and then we'll make 5 more double crochet in that same corner space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip 2 stitches, so the first one is hidden by the corner, and the next one, single crochet in the next stitch, skip 2 stitches, and then we'll make a picot 3 fan in the next stitch. So skipping the 2, so we'll make those 3 double crochet first. 1, 2, oops, 3, chain 3, slip stitch in the top and the side loop for the picot, and 3 more double crochet in that same stitch. For the smaller fan, the picot 3 fan. Skip 2 stitches, single crochet, skip 2 stitches, and make a small fan in the next stitch. So you'll do 3 of the 3 double crochet picot fans along the side with single crochets in between and skipping those 2 stitches either side, plus the 5 picot in the corners. So if you're continuing on with the same color, you will chain 4 where we left off, which will count as a back post treble. If you're starting a new color, we will start with a standing back post treble around that first double crochet of the last small fan on the side. So back post treble around that first double crochet in the last small fan, or chain 4 if you're continuing with the same color. Then we'll back post double crochet around the next stitch, back post half around the next, chain 1, then we'll skip the picot, back post half, back post double, back post treble, and then around the single crochet we will work a back post treble as well. So you'll see how we can see a fair bit of the stretched out loop. So you want to make sure you're under those extra loops, or those lower loops that hang down a bit, to complete the back post treble, to snug that in. Then in the large fan in the corner, we will make a back post treble, and then back post double around the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Back post half around the last stitch before the picot, chain 2, and we'll skip the picot. Then working on the other side of that large fan in the corner, the first stitch past the picot, we'll make a back post half, back post double around the next 3 stitches, each of the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3, back post double, and then back post treble around the last stitch. Then ready to work down the side, making the back post treble around the single crochet. And then in the small fan, it's back post treble, back post double, back post half, chain 1, skip the picot, back post half, back post double, and back post treble, then ready to do the back post treble around the single crochet and continue down the side. So you can go ahead and work your way all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. Round 15, our final round of this square. Continuing where we left off, we will chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. Then we will double crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, double crochet in the chain space behind that picot, and double crochet in 9 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, which should bring us to that chain 2 behind the corner picot. We will make 2 double crochet, 1, 2, and a treble crochet in that same corner space, and 2 more double crochet, 1 and 2. Then we'll double crochet in the next 9 stitches as well. That first one is hidden by our corners, so be careful to find it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then we'll work that double crochet in the chain 1 space and double crochet in the next 9. Be careful to get that first one after the chain 1 space. So double crochet in the next is 7. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and ready to double crochet in the chain 1 space again. So in the chain 1 spaces behind the picot, we will double crochet. In between these small fans will be 7 crochet, 7 double crochet, and then in between the small fan and the corner is 9 double crochet, with the corner of 2 doubles, 1 treble, 2 doubles. So you continue to work all the way around, and I'll meet you back here at the end. When you've worked your way all the way around, you can go ahead and join with a slip stitch to our starting chain 3 and fasten off, and well done. Each side should have a total of 35 double crochet, and then the corners, the 2 double crochet, treble, 2 double crochet.